Hello learners, welcome back to my channel Shraddha's Physics. In this part we will see the analytic function and then the ordinary point, and that after we will discuss about the singular point of the second order differential equation. So let us start. A homogeneous linear second order differential equation with variable coefficient is, so if I write any differential equation of the second order, suppose a naught of x d square y by ds square plus a1 of x. So these are the coefficient. So this is your dy by dx, a0 a1, and here the a2, these are the coefficients, plus a2 of x y equal to 0. So this is your, suppose equation 1. This is your homogeneous second order differential equation. So you can see the power. So this is your second order. Or now if I will divide this a naught of x, that is the highest order coefficient. So here you can see the coefficient of the highest order will be a naught of x. So if I will divide this term, so simply I can write this will be d square y by ds square. Simply I will write a1 divided by a naught. So it is understood that a1 is a function of x as well as a naught into dy by dx plus a2 divided by a naught into y, that is equal to 0. And now if I write this equation as, simply we can write, or this can be written as d square y by ds square plus this is your p of x into dy by dx plus q of x into y equal to 0. Okay. Where this p of x equal to, where this p of x, that is equal to a1, that is a1 of x divided by a naught of x, and this q of x, it is written as, this is equal to a2 of x divided by a naught of x. Okay. So this is just the representation p of x and q of x. Or simply if I will write this d square y by ds square to be y double prime plus p of x, this dy by ds can be written as y single prime plus this is your q of x whole into y equal to 0. So the equation can be written like this. So this is your equation number 2. So this is your, this equation is important, just try to remember this. Okay, so any equation that is of second order differential equation, you have to first write in this way. Okay, now here we will see what is the ordinary point. So a function, let me write a point. Suppose a point, it is x naught. A point x naught is said to be an ordinary point. This is called ordinary point, or the regular point you may say. It is said to be an ordinary point, that is the ordinary point of the differential equation. Ordinary point of differential equation, suppose equation number 2, differential equation 2, if both p of x, the function that we have written, p of x and q of x are analytic. I will tell you what is analytic. Are analytic at x naught. Analytic at x naught. Okay. So now we will see what is an analytic function. Now let us see what are analytic function. So a function, suppose f of x, a function f of x is analytic. A function f of x is analytic, suppose at x naught, that point x naught, if its derivative exists, not only at x naught but also at each point, in the neighborhood of x naught. I will tell you again briefly. I will give you also the example. Each point in the neighborhood of x naught. So in that case we can say this x naught is an ordinary point. It is an ordinary point if this is an ordinary point if a naught of x that is not equal to 0. It means that is in the equation 2 we can say, I will show you the equation, that is in equation 2 the p of x is not equal to infinite and also q of x is not equal to infinite. So in that case we can say that point or that function, it is called the ordinary point and the function is called the analytic function. Now you can see here. So in this equation, just a minute, yes, in this equation, that is equation 2, you can see, so this is your y double prime p of x y prime plus q of x y equal to 0. Okay, and here this p of x is nothing but a1 of x divided by a naught of x. If this a naught value is equal to 0, then p of x equal to infinite. But when this is not equal to 0, then p of x is not equal to infinite. And also the same for the q of x. When a naught of x that is not equal to 0, then the q of x, it is not equal to infinite, or we may say that p of x and q of x, they both have the finite value. Okay, so we can say it has the finite value. So here the function for which you can see a function f of x, it is analytic at the point x naught if its derivative exists not only at x naught but also at each point in the neighborhood of x naught, then that function is called the analytic function. And also the point where the function is analytic, then that point, this x naught point, it is called the ordinary point. That is, at this point x naught the function is defined. Okay, and also the function, if there are two function f and g, if I will tell you, just a minute, if there are two function, if I will say suppose f and g, there are two function. So if the two function f and g are analytic at some point x equal to x naught, then their sum, that is f plus g, and the product fg, they are also analytic at the same point, that is at x equal to x naught. Okay, so the question will be analytic only if f of x divided by g of x exists, or we can say the g of x is not equal to 0. Okay, so the function f and g, if they are analytic at some point x equal to x naught, then their sum and their product, they will be analytic at x equal to x naught point. But the question will be analytic only if in f of x divided by g of x, if I let f by g, if this g of x naught is not equal to 0, that is at the point x naught, if the function is not equal to 0, then that function is called the analytic. Okay, at the point x naught. Now let us take an example. Suppose the question is d square y, let me write y double prime. Y double prime means d square y by d square plus x cube plus x square plus 1 dy by dx means y prime minus 3 whole into x square minus 4x minus 2 whole into y equal to 0. Okay, now if you can see, there is no coefficient, that is the coefficient here is only 1. Okay, so here no need to divide anything in this part. Okay, so here simply I can write, if I will compare this relation with the, if I will write, the original equation will be in the form y double dash plus p of x y prime plus q of x y equal to 0. So this is our general equation. So if I will compare, so the p of x will be equal to, that is the coefficient of y prime will be x cube plus x square plus 1, and here the q of x will be equal to minus 3 whole into x square minus 4x minus 2. So in this part you can see, you can take any value of x so that the function is defined. So here we can say that this equation or the any point you will choose, these are your ordinary point, and we can simply say that this equation is analytic everywhere. So this equation is analytic everywhere. It is analytic everywhere, or we can say that every point you will choose. So all the points are ordinary in nature. Okay, all the points are your ordinary points. Okay, now the question arises when the function is not analytic. Okay, that is at some point, if suppose this equation is in the form of, suppose this is divided by x minus 2, so, and also here this is suppose divided by x minus 2. So in this case, if we will put the value of x to be 2, so that this value goes to 0, or simply I can say that at the value when x value equal to 2, the function is not defined. So what will be the case if x equal to 2? So now let us see. Now we will discuss when the function is not defined, what we will call that function. So what do we call that function? So let us take an example. So before giving you example, let me discuss you what are the singular point. So let us discuss what is singular point. So a singular point basically means when the function is not defined, or when the point, for the point when the function is not defined, then that point is called the singular point. So if I write the definition, any point at which the derivative, any point at which the derivative of the function f of x, the derivative of the function, suppose f of x doesn't exist, is a singular point. It is a singular point. Okay, or simply we can say a point, suppose that x naught point, if I will consider a point x naught is said to be a singular point of equation 2 if either p of x or q of x or both are not analytic at x naught, So that point is called the singular point. When the function is not defined at any point, so that point is called the singular point. So simply if I will write, so at x equal to, therefore I can write at x equal to x naught, it may be like p of x may be equal to infinite, or the value q of x it may be infinite, or the both, that is p of x and q of x, both the value will be infinite. So in that case we can say that, so this point is called the singular point. Now we will see this singular point is of two types. Singular point is of two types. One is regular singular point and another one is irregular singular point. Okay. One is regular singular point, and another one is known as the irregular singular point. And this regular singular point is also known as the non-essential singular point. This is also known as non-essential singular point. Now we will discuss how we will distinguish between the regular singular point or the irregular singular point. And this irregular singular point is also known as the essential singular point. Okay. Now first of all, in case of the regular singular point, you have to check, just try to remember these things. X minus x naught, that is the point, this x naught is the point where the function is not analytic or the function value goes to infinite. Okay, so for that case I will give you the example. So you have to check x minus x naught into p of x equal to finite, or we can say that this is not equal to infinite. Here limit x tends to x naught. So here let me write, here the limit x tends to x naught, x minus x naught into p of x is not equal to infinite, and you have to check limit x tends to x naught, x minus x naught whole square, q of x is not equal to infinite. So if both these are finite, then we can say that that point is known as the irregular singular point. And similarly, for the irregular singular point, you have to check limit x tends to x naught, x minus x naught, p of x equal to infinite, or limit x tends to x naught, x minus x naught whole square, q of x equal to infinite, or both are infinite, so that is called the irregular singular point. That so here that point specially, that is x naught point, is called the irregular singular point. Now let us first take the example. Suppose the first question is x y double prime plus sin x y prime plus x square y equal to 0. This is our question. Now the first step is you have to just divide the coefficient of the highest order, that is y double prime coefficient here is x. So here you have to divide x term throughout the equation. So this will be y double prime plus sin x divided by x into, this will be y prime plus x square divided by x, that will be x y, that is equal to 0. Simply we have divided the x term throughout the equation. Now here you can see the value of p of x equal to sin x by x, that is the coefficient of y prime. So this is sin x by x, and the value of q of x equal to x. Okay, so if you will compare that original equation, that is the general form of the equation, you know, that is your y double prime plus p of x into y prime plus q of x y equal to 0. This is your general form of the second order differential equation. So now if you will compare, you will get p of x and q of x value will be equal to this much. Now you have to check. So the question is, you have to determine, let me write the question. So here you have to determine the ordinary point or the singular point and the nature of the singularity. Okay, determine the ordinary point, singular point, and the nature of singularity. Nature of singularity means you have to check whether the regular singular point or the irregular singular point. Okay, so now let us start. So here in this part, that is p of x and q of x, we have already calculated this much. So here this both p of x and q of x, these are analytic at x equal to 0. Suppose you think, just if you will put x equal to 0 and also here x equal to 0, this is in the form of 0 by 0. But you know the L'Hospital rule, when if I write limit x tends to 0, that is first you have to check if I will put this value to be 0, then whether this p of x tends to infinite or not. So you have to just check. So when you put x tends to 0, so in that case let me write, when limit x tends to 0, so this sin x divided by x, it will give 1. Okay, and similarly if you will write limit x tends to 0 q of x, that is x, so that is simply if you will put the value 0, so that is simply 0, or this is your finite value. So simply here you can see that the p of x and q of x, these are analytic at x equal to 0, and for all finite values of x, So here we are not considering about the x equal to infinite term. Okay, so if I will consider x equal to infinite, so if you will directly put the value of x equal to infinite, so then you will get an irregular singular point, because you know when any of these two function will goes to infinite, then you will get an irregular singular point. So when x tends to infinite, you will get an irregular singular point. So now let us take another example. So the next question, let me write, the next question is 1 minus x square y double dash minus 2x y dash plus m into m plus 1 y equal to 0. This is most important question. So now let us see. So you have to also check here the ordinary point of whether exists or not. You have to check the singular point and you have to check the nature of the singularity. So first of all, how you will solve? So you have to divide this term, that is 1 minus a square, this coefficient, throughout the equation. So this will be y double prime minus 2x divided by 1 minus x square equal into y prime plus m into m plus 1 divided by equal to 0. Okay, or simply if I'll compare this equation, that is y double prime minus p of x, this is your y prime plus q of x, y equal to 0. So this is your general form of the second order differential equation. So here you will get the value of p of x will be equal to minus 2x divided by 1 minus x square. Okay, and q of x value will be equal to m into m plus 1 divided by 1 minus s square. So these are the steps you have to just remember, so that this is very simple question to solve. So up to this much you have calculated the value of p of x and q of x. So now the first work is you have to check whether the function is analytic or not. If the function is analytic, then all other points you will get, that will be your ordinary point. But if the function is not analytic at any other point, then that function is called the singular point. So now let us check. So you will start from this part. So now you have to just put 1 minus a square term, that is to be equal to 0. So since 1 minus a square equal to 0, you can write a square will be equal to 1, or simply you can write x value will be equal to plus or minus 1. Okay, so this x equal to plus or minus 1, these are called the singular point. So we can say that. So p of x and q of x are analytic everywhere except, these are analytic everywhere except at x equal to plus or minus 1, and that is called the singular point. So now you have calculated. So there are two singular points, that is your plus 1 and minus 1. Simply you have to put the denominator to be 0, that is 1 minus a square term, you have to put that to be 0, so that you can calculate the value of x. So here there are two values, one is your plus 1 and another one is your minus 1. So now you have to check for the first one. For plus 1 you have to check whether that is regular singular point or not. Then for the second time you have to check whether for the minus 1 whether this is your regular singular point or irregular singular point. So basically the x value you have calculated, that is nothing but your x naught. Okay, this is your x naught value. So now let us calculate first for x naught equal to plus 1. Now we have to check whether this is your regular singular point or irregular singular point. So when x naught equal to plus 1, so I can first, we have to check limit x tends to x naught, our function is x tends to x naught, our formula, this is your x minus x naught into p of x, you have to check, and its value equal to limit x tends to 1, x minus 1, and the p of x value will be minus 2x divided by 1 minus x square, you have to check first, and that after you will check for the q of x. Now here you can see, so this is equal to limit x tends to 1, you have to first solve, that after you have to put the value. So into, this is your minus 2x divided by, since this is in the form of a square minus b square, that is 1 minus a square means 1 square minus x square. So I can write it as 1 minus x into 1 plus x. Okay. Now if we will take common from this term, if we will take common minus 1, then this will be your x minus 1. Okay. Now if I will take common minus 1, this will be x minus 1. So this x minus 1 get cancelled, and this minus term get cancelled. So simply I can write this is equal to limit x tends to 1, this is your 2x divided by 1 plus x. Now you can put the value of x, that is 1, that is 1 into 2, that will be 2, divided by 1 plus 1, that is your 2. So that will be 2 by 2, that is equal to 1. Okay, so this is your finite value. And now similarly we have to check for the q of x. Now we can write for q of x, this is your limit x tends to x naught, x minus x naught whole square into q of x. I have already told you the formula. So that is equal to here limit x tends to 1. Here we have considered x naught value equal to 1. And here it is x minus 1 whole square into, for the q of x, you can see the value of q of x will be equal to m into m plus 1 divided by 1 minus s square. This is your value. So if I put the value, so this will be into m into m plus 1. So this is m into m plus 1 divided by 1 minus x square. Again. So this is equal to limit x tends to 1. So this x minus 1 whole square can be written as also 1 minus x whole square. Why? Because you know, if I will take common minus sign, so this will becomes 1 minus x. So this part I am writing. So this will be minus of 1 minus x, and this will be your whole square. So this minus square is simply equal to plus 1. So I can write x minus 1 whole square will be also equal to 1 minus x whole square. Okay. And here m into m plus 1 remain as it is, divided by, this will be 1 minus s square means 1 minus x into 1 plus x. A plus b into a minus b will be equal to a square minus b square. So now 1 minus s and here 1 minus s from the denominator and numerator get cancelled. Then this is equal to limit x tends to 1 minus x into m into m plus 1 divided by 1 plus x. Now if you put the value 1, that is x equal to 1, then this is 1 minus 1 will be equal to 0. So simply this value equal to 0. So now if you will compare, you can see here the value for the p of x, that is limit x tends to x naught, x minus x naught into p of x. So its value equal to 1. And here for q of x, limit x minus x naught, limit x tends to x naught, x minus x naught whole square, q of x value equal to 0. So both are finite value. So when you can see here, when both values are finite, okay, when this is not infinite means when both the values are finite, so in that case this point is known as the regular singular point. So simply in this case we can say this point, that is your x equal to plus 1 point, here we have considered this x not equal to plus 1. So we can write that point is a regular singular point. Okay, so here I can write, so therefore that is, let me write, so therefore x minus x naught into p of x is not equal to infinite, and x minus x naught whole square q of x is not equal to infinite. So x equal to, so x not equal to plus 1, it is a regular singular point. So it is a regular singular point. Okay. Now similarly you can check for the x equal to minus 1. So you can see here we have the two values, one is plus 1 and another one is your minus 1. So here we have calculated for the plus 1, that is for this x equal to plus 1, here this is your regular singular point. Now if I will calculate for the second one, that is your, let me write for x not equal to minus 1. Okay, now you have to check for x not equal to minus 1 whether this is your regular or irregular singular. So limit x tends to, here x naught means minus 1, x minus x naught means minus of minus 1, that will be plus 1, p of x. So here the value of p of x is minus 2x divided by 1 minus x square. So this is your minus 2x divided by 1 minus x square. So if I write here, so this will be minus 2x divided by 1 minus x square in the bracket. So that will be equal to, if I will solve this one, this will be limit x tends to minus 1, x plus 1, this will be 2x divided by, I can write, this is your x square minus 1. Okay, or simply if I'll directly write, so this is your minus 2x divided by a square minus b square form, that is 1 minus x into 1 plus x. So this x plus 1 and this x plus 1 get cancelled, that is equal to limit x tends to minus 1, this is your minus 2x divided by 1 minus x. If we'll put the value of minus 1, that will be equal to minus 2 into minus 1, that will be your 2 divided by 1 minus of minus 1, that will be 1 plus 2. So that will be divided by 2 and that is equal to 1. It is the finite value. Okay. Now similarly, if I'll check for the q, this is your limit x tends to minus 1. Again this is your x minus x naught whole square. Let me write the formula first. So that will be, so this is your limit x tends to x naught, x minus x naught whole square into q of x. So now if I'll put the value, that is here the x naught value is your minus 1. So if I'll write, this is equal to limit x tends to minus 1, this will be x minus of minus 1, that will be plus 1 whole square into q of x value is m into m plus 1 divided by 1 minus s square, this one. Okay, m into m plus 1 divided by 1 minus s square. So if I write here, so this will be x plus 1 whole square into m plus 1 divided by 1 minus x square. Okay. Now if I will solve this one, so this is simply limit x tends to minus 1, this is your x plus 1 whole square into m plus 1 divided by 1 minus x into 1 plus x, a minus b into a plus b. So 1 plus x and 1 plus x cancel from the numerator and denominator. This will be limit x tends to minus 1, this will be x plus 1 into m plus 1 divided by 1 minus x. And here if I put the value minus 1 in place of x, this will be minus 1 plus 1 equal to 0. So the value goes to 0. So here you will get the value 0 and also here the value is 0. Let me x. You can see here its value is 1 and here its value is 0. So both are finite. Here. This x naught equal to minus 1 also known as the regular singular point. Okay. So simply you have to check. First of all, you can see here from the equation, the second order differential equation that will be given to you. So you have to just check the coefficient of this term. That is the highest order, that is the second order differential equation coefficient you have to check and you have to just divide that term. This is your first step. Then secondly, you have to write the value of p of x and q of x. And from that p of x, you have to check from this denominator whether if this value equal to 0, then what will be the value of x, so that the value of this denominator goes to 0. So if this value goes to 0, so simply you can say p of x and also q of x, it will goes to infinite. So for that, when the value goes to infinite, so for that function, this is not analytic, or you can say that points are called the singular point, and that after you have to check whether the singular point are regular or irregular in nature. So you can see here, if the function is, or if the point is regular singular point, then simply you have to check limit x tends to x naught, x minus x naught into p of x is not equal to infinite, or this is basically you can write this is your finite. And also, and here I have written and, that is this as well as this. Also this is your finite, that is limit x tends to x naught, x minus x naught whole square into q of x, it is also finite. Then you can say that this is your regular singular point. But if any of this, if you find this one is infinite, then no need to calculate this. If one is infinite, then simply you can write this is your irregular singular point. So this is all about the ordinary point, analytic function, singular point, etc. So you can practice more problem so that you can get a clear idea about the regular singular point and the irregular singular point. This is all for today. Thank you all.